Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's the day we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna answer your questions. It's finally Q&A time. So yeah, that's that. I've got my laptop with your questions. I've got my coffee at hand. We're ready to go. Alright, so I suggest we start with like a couple of questions about myself so that you can get to know me a little bit better. First of all, let me just tell you the basics. My name's Emilia, I'm 18 years old. I take care of Cashew, he's a wonderful pony. And then there's also Jessie and Artois, also two lovely horses I'm able to take care of. Alright, first question. Where do you live and how old are you? Like I just said, oh no god, I'm 19 years old. Okay, so I'm 19 years old and I live in Belgium around Brussels. So I'm lucky enough to be able to live in this beautiful area with like lots of woodland, fields, just like very horse friendly. So yeah, that's that. Some of you also asked how long I've been riding for. I think this is my 11th year riding now. I kind of lost count. But I'm pretty sure it's my 11th year. I started out at this like horse riding facility where I took group lessons, and you know, it was just a great place to start, and I'm really happy like that I went there because the people there were just like so friendly and they've taught me a lot. So yeah, I started out riding like that, and then a couple of years along I met Artois' owner and he offered me to take care of his horse, and that was just like a great opportunity, and things just started going. And well, that first group lesson is quite a long time ago, and now 11 years later I'm here. Hi. This is actually like a really interesting question because it's a question about the languages I speak when I'm out on a hack. So obviously I speak English. Hi. I also speak Dutch and French. Dutch is my first language. I was raised in Dutch. And yeah, I learned French at school and just like talking to people around me because, well, if you know anything about Belgium, you know that this country is really complex. For example, we've got 3 national languages, Dutch, French, and German. We've got lots and lots of governments, like for each region, for each like language part of the country. It's really complicated to explain, but yeah, if you look it up, you'll find plenty of information about it. However, I live near the language border between the Dutch and French-speaking parts of Belgium, which means that I meet both French and Dutch-speaking people. And that's really interesting. The thing is, you don't always know what language the other person speaks. So yeah, I can only guess really. Yeah, when I'm out on a hack, it mostly like depends on the area I'm riding in, because I cross the language border pretty easily. And once I'm in like the French speaking part, there's definitely like a lot of French speaking people. You can be like about 100% certain that they're gonna speak French. Not so certain in the Dutch part though. So yeah, I mostly just say bonjour, unless those people say goeiedag, so in Dutch first. It's not always easy to know which language to speak, but yeah, it's definitely like something. I don't really notice the differences anymore, like it just comes automatically. So it's not really something I have to think about, like, oh, now I gotta speak French, or now I gotta speak Dutch, or now I gotta speak English, because it comes to me. That's really easy. When did you get Cashew and what breed is he? So I think I gotta clarify something, because Cashew is not my horse. I've said it before, but yeah, he's not mine. I'm just lucky enough to be able to take care of him. He's owned by this lovely lady. She's really nice. She owns both Cashew and Jessie, but sadly she doesn't really have the time to like take care of them because of work, her family. So yeah, that means that I get the chance to take care of them, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, that's that. He's not my horse, sadly, because I would love to like actually own him. But I mean, just like getting the chance to take care of him is absolutely wonderful, and I really wouldn't want to have it any other way. Oh, and second part of the question, what breed is he? We don't know. Cashew is a little mystery. We don't know his breed. He doesn't have any papers. He's nothing special. Like I said in a previous video of mine, Cashew was meant to be slaughtered, so like there wasn't much value. Of course, he's very valuable to me, but yeah, we don't know what breed he is. He's a little mystery, but I don't think that matters that much. I think it would be nice to know what breed he is, to sort of like search out a couple of like characteristics that maybe come from that breed. But yeah, he's just like a little mix of some things, I think. Some of you guys asked how old Cashew is. I think that when he came to his current owner, he was about 6 years old. I'm not actually sure. I think that's what she said. And he's currently about 26, something like that. Once again, I'm not sure because he doesn't have any papers. There's like nothing really official about him. So we can only guess his age. I mean, you can guess a horse's age by looking at their teeth mostly, because their teeth give away a lot of information about their age. Well, and if a vet then takes a look at their teeth, they can estimate how old they are. So we're guessing about 26, but we're not sure. Anyways, you wouldn't say he's 26 because he looks amazing. Like, he's like his body is he looks so good, and he doesn't behave like a 26-year-old horse at all. Like, you would say he's about what, 12 years old in his mind, maybe even younger. He's just such, yeah, he's such a baby for real though. So yeah, you wouldn't say he's about 26. Where did you buy Cashew? How much did he cost you? Once again, wasn't my horse, isn't my horse. I didn't pay for him when the owner got him. That would be kind of weird. Yeah, I wouldn't actually know how much he cost. Probably not like that much. I don't know, to be honest. I'm guessing it wouldn't be like 15,000. That would be like a lot. I don't know. Good question though. Do you just ride for fun or do you also event? I think you mean like doing events, just like going to competitions and stuff. I don't because like I said, Casual's pretty old. We're not gonna put him through competition. I also, he's not at a level to compete. Yeah, we're just like doing it for fun right now, especially with him. Maybe Jessie could enter some competitions, but I don't think she'd like that very much. Also, she isn't like at that level yet. She's like pretty unstable. There's some things we still need to figure out, although she's made a lot of progress in like the past year, 2 years maybe. It's crazy. If you knew her about 2 years back and you'd see her now, you'd think she's a different horse. Like, the transition it's just crazy. So maybe she could enter some competitions. Artois, I'm not sure. Like, he's also getting pretty old, and we've been retraining him. Like, his owner and I have been retraining him for the past couple of years because his muscles were like very bad. It's getting better, but he's not like ready to compete. So yeah, no, I don't compete. Although maybe in the future, if I have my own horse, I hope I can get my own horse someday. I hope I can maybe enter some competitions. But you know, that's just not for now. We'll see about that when that time gets there. Ooh, best thing about horses. Oh, that's a hard one actually. There's so many good and nice things about horses. Like, I could give you an entire list. I think the most important or like the best thing about them though is that you can really like build a friendship with them. Like, to me, it's really nice that horses have that like personality, and they really express it, and they let you know if they don't like something, or I don't know, it's just like really hard to explain. But yeah, I think the best thing about horses is just like the connection you can form with them. I don't know, I think that's about it. I hope you understand, because I really don't know how to explain it. This is such a funny question to me, like how tall is your horse and how tall are you? It's not your everyday question, but anyways, I'm about 170, 171 centimeters tall. Yes, it's centimeters here. Hi, I'm from Europe. We don't do feet and all that stuff. So if you're watching from the US, I'm sorry, it's gonna be in centimeters. Look it up, I'd say. Google is your best friend. And Cashew is about 147. He's about like the size where you don't talk about pony anymore, but about a horse. But he still is a pony. So yeah, he's about 147. 147 is pony, 148 is horse. I've also gotten some questions about my riding and my training. So we'll get into those right now. First question. Love your bond with Cashew. Thank you so much. When you canter, do you sit in the saddle or lean into the stirrups and stand up? Depends. Like, I do both. When I want my horse to just go, like when I say, okay, go, you can go as fast as you can. You can just run. You know, I stand up. I give him that space. I take my weight off their back. Just like give him as much freedom. Standing up. However, I do sit down in my saddle as well, and that's when I want to give him like a bit more support or guidance with my seat. For example, when we're cantering in the woods and there's like kind of a sharp turn coming up, I will sit down in my saddle. I will guide them with my seat, push them forward, push them around the bend, just like, yeah, to prevent any tripping or, yeah, bad balance, stuff like that. I will sit down. This is actually a question I got a lot, like also on my previous videos, and it's just like questions about the noises I make. So, did you train Cashew to walk, trot, canter, and gallop to the different trills? And when you do the trill, is there like a corresponding actions on the reins? So, I'll talk a bit about the noises I make while riding and what I do with like the rest of my aids. So, as you probably heard, I make noises when I ride. Yes. Like, some people click their tongue, I roll it. I do prrr. That's the command I taught my horses. So yeah, basically that noise means go. Go, speed up, just like anything in that like genre. When we're walking, I want my horse to trot, I go prrr. When we're trotting, I want my horse to canter, I go prrr. And again and again and again. Basically, that sound just means go, and it's like really universal. You can use it on anything. Why did I use that sound? Because I found myself doing it. I found myself doing it while riding, even when my horses didn't even know it yet. So I decided to turn it into a command. I made it into like a functioning button, if you can say that. Yeah. The other most common sound I use is and oh, which is basically like the extended version of ho, which you say to your horse when you want them to slow down. Once again, canter to trot, trot to walk, walk to halt. That ho sound is all it's gonna take. You do have to teach your horse that, because don't expect to like get onto a random horse, say ho, and they know what it means. You have to teach your horse, of course. I got other verbal cues, just like walk, trot, canter, halt, of course. I use them both in English and in Dutch. Maybe even in French a little bit sometimes. It doesn't really matter like what you say to your horse or in what language, because it all depends on the context you give them, you know, and on the way you teach them. You could basically turn any word into a verbal command. Of course, it has to be like kind of recognizable. But yeah, as long as you match a corresponding action with it, you can basically use any word you want. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Is there a corresponding action on the reins? Yes, there is. Of course there is. well, I don't use it that much anymore because now that the verbal cues are so common, the horse knows that ho means stop, and I don't really have to do anything on the reins no more. But this was especially like important when teaching them those commands. Ho, you tighten your reins, you sit back, you put a little bit of weight in the saddle. When you want them to go, when you do brrr, you close your legs, you give them a bit of rein. It's, you know, like your basic commands, like your basic aids with your body, like your weight, your seat, your legs, your hands. When you combine all of those, you can match them to a verbal cue, which just makes it a lot easier to communicate with your horse, I think. How long have you had Cashew? So once again, he's not mine, but I can say I've been riding him for over 2 years now. The story of how I got to him is like kind of sad and personal. I don't really want to talk about that, but let's just say that he was the little light in a really like sad and dark period in my life. So yeah, I'm grateful for that, and I'm really grateful that I had him during that time because he helped me so much. And now we're 2 years further and I've still got him, and yeah, I think that's very nice. The same person asks, what's the highest you've jumped and on what horse? I think the highest I jumped is about 120, 130 maybe. That was on a horse riding like camp. Don't even remember the horse really. Just know that's that. I also jumped like pretty high with Artois once, but that definitely was not 120. But I'd say 120, 130 is the highest I've jumped. Yeah. Would you ever consider getting another horse? Yes, of course, because horses are just a part of me and I do not know what my life would look like if I didn't have horses in them. I think it would just be very boring because horses always give you something new, you know, you'll never know what's coming with them, and I don't know, I just need horses in my life. However, for now I've got Cashew and I will love him and cherish him until the day he dies. Yes, sadly, that will happen once. I don't really want to think about it right now. He will die someday. It'll probably take me a while to recover from that because he's my best friend. But yeah, maybe I'll probably get a horse. Ride some other horses. We'll see. How far do you typically travel on a hack? I don't know. It's not that far usually. It's about 10 kilometers. I think that's like a standard hack, yeah. When I go for like a proper hack, it usually takes about 1.5 hours. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Did you train your horses to neck rein? Not really, but there are some like neck reining elements that come into my riding every once in a while. For example, when I'm riding neck rope, I obviously use the neck rope to rein, to steer. So I kind of know neck reining. I wouldn't rely on it though. Like going outside, I wouldn't just rely on neck reining because they definitely need that contact with the bit to know what you mean. But once again, seat, legs, voice, all those factors come together, of course. What other disciplines do you do other than hacking? I basically do a little bit of everything. I do some dressage work, which is the basics of everything, very important to do. Do some jumping, liberty work, trick training, hacking of course. I've done some cross country. I've got a friend with a carriage. I've done some carriage riding. Yeah, basically just like a little bit of everything because I think it's nice to switch things up every once in a while. So this person had like also the question about like the voice commands. I do want to address like, do the horses understand your verbal commands? Look, I've got a couple of like comments on this saying like, oh, don't call your horse names because they're very smart animals. They will understand what you're saying. No, I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but my horse doesn't speak English. My horse doesn't speak Dutch and my horse doesn't speak French. My horse knows that some words are related to certain actions, but they aren't gonna understand it when I call them an a-hole. He doesn't even know what that means. probably doesn't even know like what emotions I'm feeling at that moment. Especially like maybe when I'm on him, he knows that I can get kind of frustrated or something. For example, you saw that one video where Cashew ran off. Like we were riding neck rope, he ran off. I wasn't on him. I called him an a-hole. A lot of people commented on that, like, oh, don't do that. You know, your horse is very smart. They will understand what you say. Yeah, he had no clue. Let me just tell you that. He does not know. So yeah, they don't understand the words you say. They know the words are linked to certain actions, to certain rewards, something like that, but they don't literally understand them. I think that's something that's very important to address because a lot of people got angry about that. But yeah, as far as I know, horses don't really speak human languages. Second part of this comment, do the horses like being pet on the neck? Also got a lot of comments on that, saying like, oh, don't pet your horse like that. I usually like pet them just like this, you know. People are like, oh, you better stroke them because like petting a horse, it can really hurt. I know a horse's skin is way more sensitive than a human skin, but like petting them like that doesn't hurt them. Believe me, if it would hurt them, they would let me know. Even if it was just by flicking their ears back, putting them down in their neck, by looking at me a certain way. But yeah, I mean, I was taught to pat my horse on the neck if they did something good for a reward. And the horses now also know that that is a reward because you pet them on the neck, you maybe give them something to eat, they know that they did a good thing. So I think it's also like a lot to do with training, but I try to like watch it because after years I've educated myself and I know a lot more about horses. I know that their skin is very sensitive. So I try to watch that, I try to like stroke them instead, but I don't think that it really does like that much harm, you know? I don't know, I think it's like kind of a controversial subject and it depends. Alright, so I answered most of your questions. I think I'm just gonna leave it right here. This was very fun to do. If you've got other questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, for now, I think I'm just gonna end here. I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support. Yeah, you don't know what that means to me. Like, some comments can really make my day. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just the best. For real though, like, I'm not just saying this just to say it, like, I mean it. So, thank you for everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. And I'll just see you next time. Bye-bye!